A lot of times when the guy that's not known for hitting threes gets a couple, now everything becomes unlocked in his game because his confidence goes through the roof. It's like BYU's transition to a little bit of zone defense right here, trying to throw VCU off.
Three-pointer goes. BYU history, Danny Ainge.
Excellent GM as well.
Shoga, the kick out. The drive and off the window. Nice shot and a nice move. Luxury, stretch the lead when your leading scorers sitting on the bench.
Exactly.
Nice job. Quick hands defensively for Babasil. And the drive and off the window, and finally all back in one possession. They're going to have to work hard on defense, and they did there.
That's what they do.
And that is VCU Ram.
The backcourt's been absolutely lethal for BYU this game.
And then Triora underneath has been a horse.
Oh yes, Zeb.
Wow. Zeb Jackson found him.
Looked like he was trying to draw the foul. Didn't get it, but he kept concentrating, was able to knock it in anyway.
A step back. Jackson cuts it to 10.
Got a wide open three, got to shoot it.
That one doesn't go. They got a good look. Clark keeps it alive. Back outside. Zeb Jackson. That one does go.
Good offensive.
A minute to play.
BYU goes zone.
Jackson's three is good.
Uh-oh. Tough thing about trying to come back on a team like BYU is they're such good free throw shooters. I know they're only 16 of 24, but 5 of those misses have come from Cater.
Zeb Jackson's.
O'Connor on top. On the wing, free to fire. Here's a long shot by Anderson. And the rebound pulled down by Michael Bell. And here come the Rams, 27-6, with a 15-3 conference record.
Boy, that was really close to a turnover. Jackson was going to throw it to Bell, and Bell wasn't looking. And somehow Jackson was able to hang on to that ball.
Furman from Jackson. Shulga on the side. Shot clock at 9. The defense there is put on him by Anderson, and that's a free.
Excellent coach in his own right, a young coach, and the faithful, they're behind the bench. They're saying, get up.
Yeah, their emotional leader, their coach, Drew Valentine, who the players say they love because he's like them on many different levels. Trying to get the crowd into it. Clark thought about it. Shot clock under 10. I don't know if Jackson realized it. He just looked up. Shot clock is at 4. I don't think he's going to give it up. Jackson, shot clock is at 2. Spinning jumper. Good.
So good.
4-point game. 3:05 to play.
We talk about the Rams' experience, VCU's experience. I'm sorry, Loyola's experience as well. Other than Ruben, they got guys that have been around this business in different schools.
Russell was knocked into the baseline. He hasn't gotten up yet. Jackson going right to the rim and feathers it in.
Tom, I tell you, really, Tom, is playing with all the pressure because they were the team that everyone was talking about had a chance to get out of Larsby.
Right. Under 5 minutes to play. Here's Jackson going to the basket. Oh! Jackson slams it home.
Don't go with a good pass. Out of the corner. Jackson 3. Too strong.
Great contest by Jones.
Tipped around, and Shoga comes up with an offensive rebound.
It's what VCU does.
Jackson, left hand. Yes, sir. The way they hit the boards, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, when that shot goes up, just keep an eye on those 4 that attack.
Zone now trying to slow down VCU. 1-1-3, it's a little bit different. Coach Smith doesn't think this team plays it as well as his normal teams.
Jackson, high off the glass.
In typical fashion, using his size.
Want to run from VCU, and they want to extend it. Jackson to the rim and throws it down with the what a sequence.
Here's an incredible stat on Council. Out of 725 minutes in A-10 play, he played 712. How about that? I'm surprised Coach Smith even let him off the hook for 13 minutes. Most point guards, now you're talking 11 assists, 0 turnovers. They don't care about points. They come to the coach, says, hey, coach, how many assists, how many turnovers did I get today? I'm sure Shulga thinks that way.
74-59. And Zeb Jackson will pull.
Bennett for three, does it again. It's 8-0 Flyers, and Ryan Odom, head coach for VCU, wanted to travel on that last call. What a start here for Dayton tonight.
He's kind of just stepping through that trap. We're taking a look and see if there was a travel there, but Bennett relocated wide open, and that's too easy. But that's a team that's 17-2 in the ACC. That's partially the weakness of that league this year, but Brad Barnell's team is really good. They got great guards. Hunter's playing, both Hunters are playing at a very good level. Victor Lockett, a big that's very talented in Shefflin. Like, they've got a lot of really good players, and bear in mind, some of those guys were key pieces on the Elite 8 team last year. So the Tigers, I think, aren't really talked about, but are very good.
They are, and that's all good stuff. But wait a minute, your underdog pick is UNC, and you said that you don't think they're
No. I more of a excuse to talk about the game. I know a lot of times I want to give you the pick when I like the.
I mean,
they've been covering 20-plus point spreads like it's nothing. This is you can't have that happen. Shutting up this crowd. He just needs to turn right around, give the shush sign. Like, he is feeling it right now.
He loves playing here, that's for sure. They've had success. This Flyers team, winners of 2 of the last 3 in this building. Last year, only a 2-point loss. Jackson responds. Simon working on Clark. Up and under, tough shot. No, Shoga has it. Jackson for the lead.
Stroke here in the latter part of the first half. Rozier for 3. Duquesne still without their first triple of the night. They are now 0 for 6 from beyond the arc.
That's what happens when you make 15 threes a game before, Jordan.
Jackson, oh, how about the wig?
Look at this, they're just playing bully
Wilborn trying to go horns to horns with the Rams. It's VCU that forces the turnover. Jackson, no hesitation, a confident jumper. Rozier. This time intercepted by Jackson. Heads up play.
I mean, they're just so good at it. They're so good at it. If I'm Ryan Odom, slow the basketball down. The clock is your friend right now. Run your offense. And I try to find a way to get Shoga a shot.
13 turnovers each team. Jackson trying to get the angle and a little
shoulder out there, a little baby chicken wing. Zeb Jackson sold it, but I'm going to give Duquesne credit. They have really played a physical, they've been attention to detail with their defensive assignments, and they've made it very difficult for the Rams to score, which is a potent offense. 80 points a game in the last 8 games, and they've struggled to score against this team.
8 to shoot. Jackson a 3. Oh, what?
There's a dunk there. None of us really know when it gets down to those last couple of teams, that last 4 in, which makes it tough. So the best way to alleviate any doubt is to do one thing, Georgia, and that's keep winning.
Wilborn with the flush. He's put together an excellent game with 14 points on the night. Shulga over to Jackson, and VCU with 42 seconds remaining, just trying to let as many grains of sand drain in the hourglass.
You got to give these guys credit. Ryan Odom says
Jackson step back 3, and
the Outcast team. They went to the Elite 8. Right. I mean, on the way they beat Gonzaga, Georgetown, Wisconsin, and they only end up falling to the eventual national champions, Kansas and Bill Self that year. Like,
to the sin. So the Spiders can make some threes. They get a chance.
That's Colin Tanner. Misses his first look. Rebound by Zeb Jackson. He pulls the rebound. He runs the Rams. Gets it back from Shulga on a nice look. And Zeb Jackson right off the bench. It's an 8-0 home right over Bama Seal.
That was a prayer. Prayer was answered.
Third made 3 for Richmond. Russell cut off. Finds Jackson at the top of the circle. Good look. Russell to Zeb Jackson.
Biting him, but playing a tremendous team.
White and Tyne have combined for 16 in this first half.
Yep.
On the run, Zeb Jackson. Just too easy getting.
George Mason turns it over again. It's Zeb Jackson. He stuffs it.
Say, Joe, that he was going to get there. Zeb Jackson, the presence of mind to make that pass.
Jackson gets it back. Oh, boy!
After what happened last night, Tom, I don't know if I want to be in Lawrence right now.
Yeah, Bill Self,
wow.
He spent a little time at the end of that game going over
not
some
happy.
things in his mind.
Was not happy.
Russell to the baseline for Furman. Furman had a shot, goes out for Jackson. For him, a better shot. And he rattles it home.
Yeah, inside out.
Another kick out and Bamasiel for three. An offensive rebound by Furman. Extra pass for Russell, and he charged the... That's one thing that the Rams are lacking. This is not a team that has many liabilities, but they don't have those physical bigs down low.
Yeah, you're right. Neither team does.
Deep three. And that
is to have extra ball handlers against this pressure late. And I would expect extra ball handlers to get the ball to Buchanan and Castro in the half court. But to get it to them, you got to get it across half court. Hence the 2 point guards in at the same time.
The latest half a dozen for the Rams, closing in on the final 3 minutes. Shot clock in single digits. Shulga for Jackson.
There's space toward the baseline and finally picked it up. And LaSalle takes the lead.
On a VCU team that's one of the best shot blocking teams in the country. It was rather easy for each end to get to the basket.
Bell in the game for the first time for VCU. Russell hovering up top to Bell. It's coming toward us.
They just look shaky, right?
They do. Yeah, they look out of sorts today. Shot clock is under 10.
I was going to say, they couldn't play any better than they played the other day against Richmond.
Zeb Jackson backed it home. White.
Check it out.
Double teams. Shepard for three. No good. Now Jackson. Little shake and bake. Jackson going right to the rim. A kiss off the glass. One of the assistant coaches going over some stuff with him. Zeb Jackson in for the first time. Also in for the first time is Christian Furman. He had some good minutes against St. Bonaventure for VCU.
He's the reason why they're one of the best shot blocking teams in the country.
Shulga goes down low post, swings it to Clark. Jackson for three. Yes!
Wow.
Bounce pass to McContry, and he couldn't finish.
Just toughness.
Jackson for three. Splash down. Jimerson. Well, he tried to go bounce pass for Warlick, but it was cut off. Here comes Jackson in transition. Jackson with his left hand is strong to make it a 1 point game.
That's what they do so well. When you get in there, you got to drive and kick the basketball. This is what they want. That's what they want. They want to speed you up, get you to take a tough shot, and here they come again.
Russell, nice shot fake, going along the baseline, kicks it out. Jackson for three. Yes!
Just like that.
Fat Council has not scored. And he turns it over.
Knocks it down.
Yeah, House has 5 points, and now he has that assist. It's the first bucket for Green. And it gives Rhode Island a 1 point lead. Furman in the game for the first time for VCU. Zeb Jackson off the screen, picked up top by Brown. Furman away from the basket. That's an interesting matchup size-wise. Shot clock is at 7. Jackson, nice crossover. Shot clock at 5. Pull up 3. It's good.
That means at least 2 are open.
Right.
So someone should be cutting down the lane and also waiting on the opposite wing.
Here comes Jackson to midcourt. He's got plenty of time. Jackson into the paint. Jackson to the basket. And a two-handed. The fans, they were half holding them up, half pulling them down. And now the ball for VCU. Zeb Jackson. Jackson off the glass. Count the bucket.
It's a costly turnover.
23 turnovers for Rhode Island. But still in the game. Or I should say 24. The ball.
Here is Brown. Feeding the is on here from VCU. Reynolds, it couldn't contain it. It was a bad pass. Intercepted. Jackson up and in.
Yeah, right more in the stripes.
Right.
A couple travels. They haven't got.
Yes, there might have been a couple of those tonight, for sure. A really good crew out here tonight with Pat Driscoll, Tony Henderson, and Tommy Morrissey. Let these guys play it out. It's been a fun one to watch as we're coming up on 12 minutes remaining.
Bamboye telegraphed that pass.
Johnson tried to go with the lob, and it hit the back of the rim. A little helter-skelter so far in the last minute and some change.
You know, I think that plays to VCU's advantage. They want to get up and down. They want this to be a frenetic pace.
Here's Jackson, pulls up and hits over Zach. Up ahead to Sugar. A head fake, and then a three. Kept alive by Bamasil. A fresh 20 for VCU.
Almost too much passing for VCU. Not enough guys trying to take it to the rim here.
Zeb with the fadeaway.
Wow.
That was his 14th point. He scored 15 against Albany earlier this year. Here's Jackson inside and get the layup to go.
Good to get his confidence going on the drive, going to that strong hand.
Early for the Ramblers. Sheldon Williams Jr. trying to be disruptive defensively. Back outside, Zeb Jackson, grad student, Michigan transfer. He'll attack on the way, gets the roll. Jackson, Bamboye, seeing more and more minutes as the year has progressed. Freshman can't get it to fall. Back outside Jackson. And Zeb
field goals in the second half. So they've gotten stops, but they got to put the ball in the basket. That's what gets the crowd excited.
How about the second chance points? For a second straight game, Loyola getting dominated in that category. Jackson. Another three. Really trying to get in the way and muck up that attempt. And now Quinn a bit out of control. Russell going to win the race down to get it. Looking for space. Jackson. That's three.
Here's Brown. Hands it back off to Council. Council gets some space. Shoots it from 18. Off the mark. Michael Bell, who just checked in, gets the rebound.
Really good contest there from Jackson. Didn't give Council any space.
Sugar looks back to the bench and now backs it out. Here's Jackson, goes baseline, gets underneath, a beautiful reverse layup.
That's a really great.
Well, how does Bruce Springsteen correlate with VCU or Richmond, Virginia? Well, 50 years ago, after he wrote Born to Run, he actually was in a music store in Richmond because he was nitpicking the album in a local music store in Richmond. Let them play the album on a record player so you could figure out what was good, what was wrong. And Zeb Jackson.
Three and drains it.
But you cannot go under screens. Frazier makes VCU pay by not being disciplined on the defensive end.
The transfer from Belmont Abbey with his 19th made three on the season. Zeb Jackson strong to the rim, plus the foul.
Back ready for you.
The
Good
backdoor
pass.
cut. Kincaid with the miss. Might have been altered a touch by Bamboye.
This must be a Thugs holiday because everybody's tricking off the point.
VCU will swing it. Jackson to Bamboye in the corner. Clark with a great rebound and a reset to Jackson for three. VCU has outscored William & Mary 23-11 after the break. Jennings with a good box out, gets the rebound.
Well, here's the thing about William & Mary. If they start to let the game get away from them, they can't really play how they like to play. Their defense isn't really set up to stop people. It's really to speed them up. But if someone has a lead like this and you're not stopping them, it's hard to stop the bleeding.
And
As you see, Zeb Jackson.
And another turnover.
Oh, man.
Here's Zeb, right to the rim with the left hand.
On the boards, off the bench. Dent into the paint. Dent with a hezzy. Dent with a head fake. Dent can't finish this time. Rebound. VCU transition triple. The lefty shooter. Zeb going to work the back down. Atiki shot fake, spins over the left shoulder. Jump hook too strong. Atiki can't get his own miss. Bell grabs the loose basketball. Hard right lane line drive for Jennings and a kick out for Jackson. 3 and they bury. Finishes with the right hand. So strong over that left shoulder off the glass. Joseph with the Baker's dozen. Lobos by 6. Jackson on the take. Scoring ass. Timer. Down what's a Joseph screen. Step back 3 for Donnie. Short. Long rebound. VCU taken by Jackson. Inside 3 minutes. Jackson. Right hand drive. Left hand layup is good.
Feel for your opponent. Very good decision here by Ryan Odom, and very smart by Colorado State, trying to use these fouls quickly so you don't waste time later in the game. 2 of the best coaches in America, in my humble, blessed opinion, my HBO.
Jackson steps back behind the three-point line. Nothing but nice bounce pass to Phil Russell for 3. Jackson an offensive rebound, splits the double, and gets the basket plus the foul.
Play hard, you know, proud to wear the uniform. And while they're not playing particularly well, they're out here playing with a lot of effort.
And they're now under the leadership of John Richardson III. He took over as the interim after a 4-11 start last year for the Vikings. Ton of experience on the bench at Division I level, 16 years at ODU, 2 years at Virginia Tech. Good face have leading that program. Zeb Jackson, effortless from that.
4 without giving away a third.
Russell, shot no good. Rebound Zeb Jackson. He'll line up the trifecta and knock it down. Matthews.
Yeah, he runs like a deer. He's got it, you know, scores around the basket, scores on the break.
Jackson drives.
Go to the pit in Albuquerque, which is traditionally a really tough place to win as a road team.
And just under a month from now is Jackson.
If you're not shooting the ball very well, that's the way to solve that problem. Get better shots and getting the ball closer to the basket.
Float game.
His job at Virginia when Ralph was going into senior year and Jim Larinaga showed me around.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in Charlottesville. Bamisil. Good and 1 from Shulga. Another assist.
Just 4 out, 1 in type of spacing offensively.
That's already 16 fouls for the Hurricanes. Double team. Now 5 on the shot clock. Jackson off the window. Forrest.
But I was telling you, when I interviewed at the Virginia job and first met Coach Larinaga, they gave the job to Dave Odom.
That one up and in.
He doesn't turn many open ones down, though.
Jackson lines up the triple. Nothing but the bottom of. Good look for Jackson. Can't knock it down. Bamisil flies in, keeps it alive. Jackson another opportunity. This time he buries it. 1 minute remaining in this first half. VCU has stayed in control. An 8-point lead for the Rams. Jackson a 3. Got it!
Bonus on the defense to get in legal guarding position.
That's the first turnover of this second half for a Nevada team that's been playing inspired since halftime. Shot clock down to 5. Jackson, another deep 3. Drills it! 6. Rebound Bell. Bamisil. Another second chance effort, and Jackson finally puts it up and in. Isaiah Coleman knocks down the triple.
They don't take a lot of threes, Seton Hall. They're actually not shooting a poor percentage. They shoot about 36% as a team, but they're only making 5 a game. They are a paint touch team. So nice.
Just like that, one possession game again.